Hello, buddies. Welcome back to Quick Movie. Today, I will explain the American sci-fi horror film's Child's Play, Part 2 Chucky Doll. In the second part, we see that 2 years have gone since Chucky's death. His burnt head was left, however the remainder of his body was annihilated, which we found in the initial segment. His head is reassembled at a toy company because, as per Andy and his mom, Chucky was liable for each of the homicides in the past part. As a consequence of this, these dolls have gotten negative exposure, which has affected their sales. Because the organization's president should demonstrate that these dolls are blunder-freed, we likewise realized that Andy's mom was focused on a mental medical clinic and that nobody accepted Chucky's story. Andy is remaining in an N2. The organization's proprietor shows up at the production line where the dolls were made. The professional is tossed a good ways off and passes on because of an electric shock while he attempts to change his eyes. The Chucky doll is tossed, yet it gets back to life again after this incident. Chucky doll's objective was to get to Andy straight away. Moreover, he expected to move his spirit into his body. Andy, then again, is displayed as somebody who hasn't failed to remember anything about Chucky. His guardian gives him to a couple to change his surroundings. When Andy shows up, he is welcomed by Kyle, their daughter. That woman sends Andy inside a room, and when Andy opens a well-bored entryway, a hero doll falls, unnerving several attempts to convince him that this is just a doll. The doll is tossed by the lady. On the other hand, Chucky doll seems to have known Andy's location through contact. When Chucky shows up at Andy's home, he experiences the hero toy that the woman has thrown. Chucky breaks the doll and conceals it in the nursery. He was doing it to take his place. Chucky visits them. Andy looks at the doll, and to fulfill his questions, he checks his battery. He believes this to be a typical doll, and he keeps it with him. Chucky limits Andy's options and feet while he sleeps. Andy awakens, and he lets him know that he wouldn't leave him this time, and he starts his magic. Kyle goes into the room and opens his hands. Andy illuminates him that Chucky has pursued him. They all come to him, however nobody accepts him when he educates them concerning Chucky. Now the woman's better half has tossed Chucky into a cellar. His nose has started to bleed. Chucky understands that his body is changing once again into a human once more. When Andy goes to class the following day, Chucky follows him and obliterates his homework. His educator rebuffs him by placing him in a room after the class. Andy, then again, escapes, and when his educator shows up to mind him, Chucky homicides her. Andy illuminates the woman and her better half, who brought him home, that Chucky has followed him once more, but nobody trusts him, and Andy understands that he should kill Chucky himself. He gets to the storm cellar by taking the blade where Chucky was imprisoned. Chucky, then again, assaults Andy fiercely. As to hear this, the woman's better half connects as well. Chucky tosses him down the flight of stairs, and he kicks the bucket. As a result, Lady likewise shows up and faults Andy for being liable for her significant other's demise. Andy is approached to leave by her. Andy was subsequently gotten back to the inn. Kyle should avoid Chucky, he cautions. Kyle swings later, and her foot becomes trapped with the foot of that old doll. She lifts her foot out and acknowledges Andy was correct. When she strolls higher up to illuminate her mom, Chucky has previously killed her mother later. He goes after Kyle and requests that she accompany him to Andy's hostel. Kyle endeavors to kill him on the way. However, he is unharmed. He contacts Kyle and compels her to drive him to the inn. When he arrives, he begins ringing alarms. The inn superintendent chides Kyle, and Chucky attacks and murders her. He hauls Andy behind him and crashes into a paper truck. Kyle seeks after the truck and passes it. Chucky, then again, takes Andy to a toy organization that makes dolls. Kyle likewise shows up, however she can't find Andy and Chucky. Chucky takes him out and starts his magic. There was nobody around to divert him this time. Andy's eyes promptly open. Chucky was as yet stuck inside that doll's body, and his wizardry remained ineffective. Chucky currently perceives that he will use the remainder of his life in this doll's body. Kyle shows up also and pursues Andy. They run over a hallway. Chucky goes along with them, yet they seal the entryway. Chucky's hand stalled out in the entryway, so he pulled his hand away from his body. He gets the blade in his grip. A laborer is doled out to the area to fix a machine. Chucky cuts him with a blade and afterward places him in a machine to kill him. Kyle and Andy, then again, are attempting to kill Chucky. Andy places him in a tub and sets a plastic softening valve on him. Chucky's body liquefies down. Kyle places a gas pipe in Chucky's mouth as his body dissolves. Chucky passes on because of his mouth topping off and erupting. Andy and Kyle are liberated from the industrial facility. The second part of the film comes to an end here. Thanks for watching. Please buddies subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out.